to another album review. Along with the vein of the last review, I figured that this time it would be quite a good idea to do something that I've been listening to quite a lot recently. It's not necessarily the best album of all time, but it's one that I'm familiar with at this moment. It's something that I listen to quite a lot by an artist that I absolutely love, and I am quite an avid collector of. Called David Bowie, who I'm sure you've all heard of. And this album I've chosen is called Let's Dance by David Bowie from 1983, the year of my birth. Woo! Why did I choose this album? Well, I've got a whole stack of Bowie. I've got most of his output, certainly up to this album, not all of it since, on record. So why did I choose this one? Purely and simply because I've been listening to it quite a lot. The Ziggy and the Lad Insane and all that stuff, I've got it up there, and I might get around to it at some point. It's up there somewhere. I've also got the latest one by him just there as well. That's from, I think it was last year, no, 2 years ago actually. So yeah, I've got quite a healthy selection of Bowie, but I decided to go with this one just because I've been listening to it quite a lot, and it's certainly a lot. What's the word? It's very 80s, let's put it like that. So first of all, let's look at the packaging. So we've got David Bowie looking at it with some boxing gloves, the Everlast gloves. They're the kind of boxing, little boxing practice gloves. Looking moody. Is he in a fight? Is he warming up for a fight? Is he just about to get fought? He's got a very nice hairdo going on there, which will be ruined instantly. It starts fighting. You've got David Bowie, very 80s. Look at this. Let's dance. It's quite a frustrating way of laying out the word, actually, unless you know the album or what it is. It's, you know, if you flick through that in a crate, you might have to take a double glance to figure out what it is. And on the back, more of the boxing theme. We've got the boxing man. It kind of looks like one of those toys, I think, the red and the blue ones that box each other. One of those. We've got all the credits just there. We've got track listing down here, tiny track listing. So if you don't know it very well, then yeah, and then EMI. So it makes a change actually. His earlier recordings were all on RCA, so he changed to EMI. I don't know if this is his first EMI record. I'm not quite sure. We're going inside for the inside sleeve. This hasn't got an anti-stack bag, and I have got a white bag for it, but it's not in it at the minute because I've been playing it quite a lot. It's been in and out of this quite a lot. And again, it's quite frustrating the way it's laid out, because you can't find the lyrics to the song that you want necessarily straight away. So we've got Modern Love, Shake It, Let's Dance, Criminal World, and then on this side we've got Without You, Ricochet, China Girl, and Cat People. Now, as far as I'm aware, if I look at the track listing on here, Modern Love, China Girl, Let's Dance Without You. Modern Girl, yeah. So they're mixed up. They're all mixed up. Is that done? It's absolutely done on purpose. There's no way that would be done by accident. But it's a bit annoying if you wanted to have a look at the lyrics and read through. You have to kind of find it. It's all wonky. You have to keep kind of throwing it around to see what it is. But it doesn't detract from the music. We've got lots of other photos on the inner bag of, the inner sleeve. Lots of different photos from obviously the same photo session of him fighting fights. I'm trying to see if they tell a story. I've never really studied them that much. Not particularly. What is nice to see is that we've got all the credits up here. There's some interesting names on there. So obviously you've got David Bowie, or Dave Jones as his actual real name is. There's some pretty good brass guys on there. But most importantly, the guitar player on this whole thing, as you can see up here, I don't know if you can see it, is a chap called Nile Rodgers. You might have heard of him. He was a guitarist from Chic. Did all those hits, and he wrote loads of stuff in the 80s, 70s and 80s, funky disco kind of stuff that was epically famous. He recently, last year, did a thing with Daft Punk and Pharrell Williams called Get Lucky, so he kind of threw him back into the limelight, and as a result of that, him and Nile Rodgers, Chic featuring Nile Rodgers, did lots of headline slots. I think Glastonbury they played, and possibly some more. So he didn't just do that. He played guitar on this, but he also was kind of co-wrote and co-produced quite a lot of it as well. And you can really tell from the tracks. They've got a really a real funk element to them, and you've got his particular kind of choppy guitar rhythm in a lot of the songs. So what about the song? Well, let's have a look at the disc actually. So this one I bought maybe a year or two ago. There was a car boot sale. I think I paid £1, maybe £1, maybe £2. Probably pay slightly more from that for it on eBay, maybe up to a £5 or something like that. But it's not a bank breaker for sure. And there we go. That's what it looks like. EMI America. Oh, is this an American pressing? I might even have American pressing without realising it. How about that? Who knew? Well, not me, obviously. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So the first track, the first side, first of all, let's list these songs, which are, for me, the side one of this album is as good a side of an album you can get in terms of hits. You got Modern Love, one of his singles from the album, cracking song. You'll recognise it instantly. It's got a very memorable bass riff. China Girl, flipping amazing song. I love it. Then Let's Dance, title track from the album, probably the most famous song off this, and then Without You. Honestly, I don't think there's a better side of music, especially from the 80s. I don't think there's a better side of music from the 80s. That's absolutely cracking. Less well-known tracks on the side, but in a similar vein. So you've got lots of riff-based 80s sounds, lots of synthesizers, digital synths being played on it, drum machines, lots and lots and lots of heavy studio effects. I say studio effects, I mean lots of overdubbing, layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff. And yeah, as far as Bowie goes, I don't think it's his best album by a long shot, but at the moment it's one that I'm really enjoying listening to, which is the reason that I thought I'd do a review on it, rather than go for what I consider his best album to be, which I'll come to another time. I won't tell you what it is, because everybody would disagree with me, maybe. So yeah, so that is Let's Dance by David Bowie, 1983 vintage. I'll try and post some links at the bottom. Please, by all means, comment and stuff, and subscribe if you want. I'm going to try and do more reviews for you soon. Thank you.